of rethinking Uganda's economy and a human rights approach to resource allocation. According to the opposition, there is a need to bring an end to many tax exemptions in Uganda that are continuously causing losses to the government of Uganda. We have a report. Let's take a look at this report. According to the opposition, in the 49 trillion budget, 32.8 trillion is composed of a projected total tax collection of 27.83 trillion Uganda shillings, a proposed recovery of 4 trillion Uganda shillings from tax exemptions and 1 trillion Uganda shillings from corruption scandals. In his speech, the leader of opposition in Parliament, Honorable Matthias Mpuga, pointed out the need for integration awareness on matters of the East African community.
Integration awareness, we are aware that part of the abuse is occasioned by lack of awareness on what this ESC is about, and therefore would involve the younger people, the youth, in the knowledge, would encourage the business community to be active and get to understand, of course, enhance advocacy and implementation of all the protocols. We believe the community, this ESC is a good idea, but because we are into expediency, we're not following the protocols to motivate our people to benefit from the integration and the numbers that come with the East African community.
Honorable Dr. Rume Bayiga, while addressing the congregation, appreciated the work of the opposition by giving Ugandans an alternative leadership plan.
We have heard that we are living in a very artificial life and listening to very artificial figures. And that is what Ugandans continue to consume. Without this speech, very many Ugandans, including members of parliament and leaders of various categories, would have gone with the figures of government, which are very artificial. And that is why we must congratulate ourselves as the opposition in this country for having a very brilliant opposition, which has enabled us to know that this country can have another path that Ugandans can follow to make our country deliver for everybody.
The Deputy Lord Mayor of Kampala, Honorable Doreen Nyanjula, has urged leaders to stand against division if at all the leaders are to be able to deliver on the promises that have been made to their electorates.
I'm here to rally all of you that we need to stand against being divided. We need to stand against being divided, or else we shall come here, read the beautiful speeches. Unfortunately, we shall not be able to do much. I'm quite passionate about issues of gender. I'm quite passionate about issues to do with education. And recently I was actually embarrassed and shocked after celebrating Women's Day under the theme of digital transformation. Most of the government entities, KCC inclusive, was not allocated a single coin.
According to the opposition, their proposed budget takes on human rights approach, targeting spending on the sector priorities, which directly impacts on the common person.
Gentlemen, as you've heard, our alternative budget proposals are rooted in the principles of universal human rights and equality. Human rights are not a luxury, ladies and gentlemen. It is a fundamental aspect of human dignity that should be respected and protected in all aspects of life, including economic policy. We believe that every Ugandan deserves the opportunity to succeed, regardless of their background or the circumstances. We believe that it is possible to build a Uganda that works for everybody, not just a select few.
The President pointed out corruption as a key problem to Ugandans, as wealth and power in Uganda are rooted in a particular group of people.
Centered on the idea that economic policies should prioritize the rights and well-being of all people, especially the vulnerable ones. Unfortunately, here in Uganda, that is not the case. The Ugandan economy, as you all know, is characterized by gross corruption, inequality, and lack of opportunities for the majority of our people. Wealth and power are concentrated in the hands of a small group, and that is why we need an alternative budget which truly represents and prioritizes the needs and aspirations of all Ugandans, not just the few that hold power and influence.
The alternative proposed sector allocations include 3.52 trillion Uganda shillings for works and transport, 2.9 trillion shillings for the Ministry of Health, 2.12 trillion shillings for Defense and Veteran Affairs, 2.7 trillion shillings for the Kampala Capital City Authority, 1.75 trillion shillings for the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, 1.4 trillion shillings to the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry, 1.45 trillion shillings allocated to the Ministry of Water and Environment, 1.45 trillion shillings allocated to the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, 1.4 trillion shillings allocated to the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development. Btm News Today. Well, what an interesting speech coming in there from the president of the National Unity Platform. Now, on to Parliament. We still speak matters of the August House as the National Resistance Movement Parliament Party Secretariat has today met members of Parliament who subscribe to their party to discuss strategies on how to improve service delivery to their constituents. Now, the meeting was chaired by the Government Chief Whip Hamson Dennis Obua, and also the Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, Robin Anabanja, was in attendance as she happens to be the leader of government business in Parliament. Let's take a look at this report.
While addressing the NRM caucus parliamentarians, the government chief whip Dennis Obua said the president has embarked on a countrywide tour for wealth creation mobilization.
Members, that His Excellency the President has embarked on a countrywide tour by having zonal meetings, and I wish to encourage you as members of the NRM Parliamentary Caucus to participate in these meetings in your respective sub-regions and mobilize for the chairman of the party and His Excellency the President. The next tour after actually sub-region is West Nile.
Obua said the chairman of the NRM party okayed the caucus meeting even without his presence.
Caucus EXCOM had a meeting with HE the President in Rwakitora on 4th of January, and His Excellency the President okayed caucus meetings to be held without him, as long as we have Her Excellency the Vice President and the Right Honorable Prime Minister.
Rosemel Seninde, the Director of Mobilization, the NRM Secretariat, who represented the Secretary General, said that members of Parliament are key stakeholders in the implementation of the party activities.
There is poor implementation of government economic livelihood policies and programs. There is also limited leadership skills among local leaders. There is inadequate dissemination and sharing of information on government programs.
Seninde briefed the members that the NRM Secretariat is embarking on a countrywide mobilization campaign to strengthen the party structures and ensure that government programs are owned by the people.
The NRM Secretariat previously conducted a study, and we conducted this study in December 2022. The purpose was to interrogate the trajectory of the NRM support since 2006 to 2021 and factors that have precipitated the current political, social and economic environment in Uganda, Kampala and Busoga. But you will agree with me that much as we are looking particularly at Uganda, Busoga and Kampala, you realize that even in the countryside, in other parts of the country, we need to understand and appreciate the issues.
Members of Parliament from across the country raised a range of issues and expressed concern over gaps in service delivery and asked the party to harmonize to serve the country better.
The question of pretense will kill NRM. And the pretense means that people look at the issues of national debate and they don't turn them into issues of national debate, they pretend.
In the campaigns in Lango, Teso and Acholi, the president promised 50 billion for Lango, 50 for Teso, and 50 also for the three sub-regions for cattle compensation. We did a launch, 50 billion was released. This year, nothing has been released.
The Prime Minister Robin Nabanja, while closing the caucus meeting, assured the members of Parliament that all the issues raised shall be addressed to the President, who is the party chairman, for action.
I am going to inform the President of all your concerns that you have brought on the table. By tomorrow, you will have all this.
Alex Brandon Chintu, the Member of Parliament for Kagoma North and spokesperson for NRM Parliamentary Caucus, said that they resolved to start having regular meetings to iron out issues so that Ugandans can be served better.
So the most important resolution is that we shall be frequently meeting, have an interaction, and also as members of Parliament to understand the executive role and what kind of programs are within government that are running to the satisfaction of the will of the people.
The meeting took place at the President's office in Kampala and was attended by most members of Parliament who subscribed to the NRM party. Btm News Today.
Now, one thing we do appreciate is that political parties are now taking shape as we head to the political journey for the year 2026, and hopefully the manifesto of NRM is realized as the party is planning. Now, apart from that, yesterday the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Anita Among, did task the State Minister for Sports, that is Honorable Peter Ogwang, to explain why the Uganda Cranes are not playing home games at Nambole Stadium but in Egypt. In his defense, Ogwang apologized on behalf of the ministry and explained that there are ongoing works that can only follow a specific work timeline. Now, the apology did come in time as Ogwang had vowed that Uganda Cranes will be playing the next game against Algeria here on home soil, that is Nambole Stadium, and also shifted his offices to the same stadium. Let's take a look at this report.
Tell us the reason why we should not hold you people accountable for a nugatory expenditure of paying money to play a game in Egypt. That's a nugatory expenditure, which you should have used that money to play from here. You would have invested that money to have a game here, to finish whatever is here. You should tell us why we should not hold you people accountable.
Madam Speaker, I thank you for those good questions. To begin with, I did regret on behalf of the Ministry of Education and Sports on as to why we found ourselves in Egypt.
Can you apologize to this country?
Madam Speaker, on behalf of the Ministry of Education and Sports, I apologize to the country for having made Uganda Cranes go and play in Egypt.
Btm News Today. Now, the Presidential Affairs Committee chaired by Honorable Jessica Ababiku has today established that a number of ministers did receive iron sheets without knowing that these iron sheets were meant for relief items to Karamoja district. Now, this is as the committee investigates the diversion of relief iron sheets that were meant for the sub-region, and in this committee meeting, the Minister of Agriculture, that is Honorable Bwino Chakuraga, did inform the committee that he received iron sheets and he did not know that these were meant for Karamoja sub-region.
After I was allocated, I was informed that I have 5,000 iron sheets. And I was called, I remember that day I was even in Katakwi when the president on the 29th of December. I was called by one of the drivers that, Madam, we are now in a couple bit, we are delivering your iron sheets. And I told them to tell the cow to call the cow. But because the cow was in for his Christmas holiday, he asked them to deliver the iron sheets at OPM stores in Amale prisons. We have another bigger store there where the means has been. So they were stored there, and the last documents according to this attachment are the delivery notes to show how I transported the how they were delivered. Who determined the 250 beneficiaries? Actually, it was yours. Yes, so when I was given chair, I was allocated the 5,000 iron sheets according to the letter from the accounting officer. First of all, we have been having insurgencies in the region. During the current disarmament exercise, there were only 2 guns recovered in my district. And then I said, since there was a list already prepared by the committee in the district, and I'm given this 5,000 iron sheets, Chair, I determined how the iron sheets should be distributed.
Did you receive first because you're a minister? We want that clarification.
Chair, when we had the meeting I'm talking about, as members of parliament, 3 of you were meeting. The 3 of us sat, and we know how much each of us was supposed to take. So Honorable Okeris knew he's going to take this amount, and me, I also knew I was given 5,000. So it was an internal arrangement, yeah, which is not in the letter. That's why it was communicated by the other secretary here, the amount. Yes, but Esther, you see now the 5,000 was not specifically attached to you. Meaning that you sat internally and managed the distribution as members of parliament. Chair, this letter from the undersecretary to the COW, we agree, shows I sent the beneficiary list, okay? Forwarded list of vulnerable people deserving support in iron sheets. Now, and this list has 250 people. So when you look at the request by the undersecretary, it shows the iron sheets for 250 vulnerable households in Nakapepiti district.
When I was appointed to this ministry, my senior was sick with COVID. So I was alone for about 3 weeks. But when she came back, everything that concerns the ministry, she has been doing it with the technical people. The only role that I have been doing is going for mobilization on the ground in the districts of Karamoja. But things concerning procurement, distribution, I wasn't involved at all. That's what I can submit.
The issues of Chinese seats and others in the mobilization?
Yes, because they had given us a budget that was supposed to purchase goats and iron sheets for the Karichunas, the youth who had voluntarily returned guns to the hands of the army. So we went on the ground to mobilize them. In the first month of my appointment, I went to almost all districts, about 6 districts of Karamoja. Apart from Karenga, Amdat, I was with some members of parliament to mobilize people to return guns. And we offer them alternative livelihood, giving them iron sheets and goats, and specifically they were Gala goats. So I did mobilization indeed with the army and members of parliament. But when it came to procurement, I didn't know what, and in the middle of preparing for the procurement, I fell sick. That was the time I was in hospital. By the time I came back, everything was done. And what I participated in was the commissioning of the distribution of goods by the president in the Moroto district. Yes, and iron sheets.
Well, that is what was coming in from Parliament earlier on today. Now, at this point in time, we will take a look at BTM Health. Well, for tonight's segment of BTM Health, we'll be taking a look at the health benefits of taking aloe vera.
Aloe vera, as a topical gel of treating sunburn, might also have other health benefits because of its antioxidant properties. Research shows that it might help your skin, dental, oral, and digestive health, as well as improving blood sugars. The aloe vera plant is a succulent plant from the genus Aloe. It grows abundantly in tropical climates and has been used for centuries as a medical plant. Aloe vera juice is goe, thick liquid made from the flesh of aloe vera plant leaf. Historically, it has been used both topical and orally. This article explores the potential health benefits of aloe vera when consumed as juice or in other forms. Number 1. It contains antioxidants. Based on test tube studies, it is thought that aloe vera plant boasts of anti-inflammatory properties. That's why many people use it to treat and relieve certain skin conditions like burns and wounds. Aloe vera juice contains polyphenols, which are rich in antioxidants. Antioxidants have been shown to have several health benefits, but specific research on aloe's antioxidants and human health is still lacking. It may also help the skin conditions and improve skin appearance. Aloe vera is thought to have anti-inflammatory properties, making it a potential treatment for burns and other skin disorders like atopic dermatitis. Topically, applying aloe vera is commonly believed to help and treat certain skin conditions. Some research has also found out that taking aloe vera supplements may help to improve skin elasticity and reduce wrinkles, but more studies are still needed. Aloe vera may help to benefit pre-diabetes treatment. Older research has indicated that both gel and juice from aloe vera may lower fasting blood sugar in people with type 2 diabetes. Preliminary research has found out that aloe vera juice may help to improve fasting blood sugar levels in people with pre-diabetes. Still, newer, stronger data is needed to explore and potentially confirm these benefits. Aloe vera may help with digestive issues. Aloe vera contains anthraquinone. These are plant compounds with laxative effects that could help to relieve constipation. However, research on this topic is outdated, and the safety of using aloe vera juice to treat constipation is still unknown. Aloe vera juice may work as a laxative, though research on the safety of aloe vera products is still lacking. Some research suggests that aloe vera could have other benefits on digestive health, but more research is still needed. Lastly, aloe vera may improve dental and oral health. Some animal studies suggest that aloe vera offers antibacterial properties that could support the treatment of some dental and oral conditions. Aloe vera juice and mouthwash may improve various dental and oral conditions thanks to the potential antibacterial properties. Still more research is needed on this. Btm Health for Btm News Today.
Well, hopefully you did pick a few tips from tonight's segment of BTM Health. Now, those stories, BTM News, they will be taking a short break and we'll be back with more stories that you cannot afford to miss.
Are you doing business? Is it on small scale or large scale? Do you want to reach a wider audience of potential customers? BTM TV is supercharging your business at very affordable prices. Grab the opportunity and advertise with the fastest growing channel and tap into our vast audience. Find us at Aga House Level 2, Mawanda Road, Kamocha, or our social media platforms at BTM TV, or call us on 0755 823 228 or 0793 001 858. BTM, we transform.
Coming soon on BTM.
St. Godfrey Production presents to you the Rap Musical Challenge Alpha 2023. The first ever Uganda's musical challenge with 5 winners taking their musical careers to the next level. Register yourself with 10,000 Ugandan shillings. Call on 0759 009 932 and get your SRN number to make your dream a reality. Rap Musical Challenge, nurturing the next musical generation.
Sit back and relax with BTM. We transform.
Are you doing business? Is it on small scale or large scale? Do you want to reach a wider audience of potential customers? Btm TV is supercharging your business at very affordable prices. Grab the opportunity and advertise with the fastest growing channel and tap into our vast audience. Find us at Aga House Level 2, Mawanda Road, Kamocha, or our social media platforms at Btm TV, or call us on 0755 823 228 or 0793 001 858. BTM, we transform.
Well, we do welcome you from that short break. Thank you for keeping it with us here on BTM Television as we take a look at today's top stories. My name is Bruce Mugabi. We do proceed with the second segment of tonight's newscast, and we speak matters of business. Uganda's business community has implored the Minister of East African Community Affairs and as well as the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, to intervene in the matters that are causing conflicts in Kenya, which have led to the ever-increasing losses for the business community. Now, these say that the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has more experience than the heads of state in the East African countries, thus making him fit to talk matters of peace between the conflicting parties in Kenya.
The opposition leader in Kenya, Raila Odinga, urged his followers to take to the streets twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays, defying a government ban on rallies and contesting an increase of commodities in the country.
Even a liter of sugar now is even 40 shilling. Last government, I can say, in fact, it was favoring us. This government is full of hypocrites.
Just last year, Kenya exported $831 million to Uganda, and the main products that Kenya exported to Uganda were cement, worth $91.7 million, palm oil, $91.6 million, and coated flat rolled iron, worth $65.2 million. During the last 26 years, the exports of Kenya to Uganda have increased at an annualized rate of 5.67 from $198 million in 1995 and recently $831 million in 2021. This is evident enough to see Uganda's business community against those conflicts.
But generally, in Uganda, business is fragile. We rely heavily on the imports, and our nature of business is that we import and trade, make a small profit and import again. So if the supply route has problems, it takes the prices up. Already here, wholesalers have started retaining their goods so that they can cause an increment in the prices. It is going to affect the consumers. It is going to affect us, the ones in the supply chain, the last in the supply chain. It's going to affect us.
Robert Mayanja, a businessman who is worried about the silence of the Minister of East African Community Affairs, who would raise up to the moment and address this matter.
I would appeal, I would expect the Ugandan authority to at least to address us on the conflict in Kenya and how it is going to affect business here. We would be hearing mitigation factors from the authorities. Better still, we would see the minister in charge of East Africa, Honorable Kadaga, trying to negotiate for us a safe supply route between Ruto and Odinga. They must agree that Kenya feeds the East African community.
Musabu Kaole, who imports his goods from Kenya, is dismayed for his customers who are running away from him daily.
Complaints from the customers
with the orders they make from here. Besides that, even our sales are fluctuating all the time. Besides fluctuating, they are also decreasing, which decreases the income we normally get from the sales we do make. So we're just praying to God such that the situation in Kenya goes back to normal.
Nasri Muluya, who exports eggs and maize to Kenya, thinks if Uganda's president intervenes, the situation can turn to normal.
Okuva Kenya lyatandika okwekalakaasa Mande n'Olwokuna. Sente zitandise okufa, abasuubuzi bafiiriddwa sente zaabwe nnyingi. Be baasanga mu kkubo amagye emmotoka baaziwamba zaafiirayo. Abano banno na kasooli tebakyasobola kumutwalayo. Omusuubuzi Munnayuganda atandise okufiirwa sente zitamanyikiddwa olw'okubeera ng'okwekalakaasa okwo kugenda mu maaso. Tusaba gavumenti ne Pulezidenti Museveni atuyamba agende, kuba tumutwala nga Pulezidenti wa Afrika wano.
Entambula etukosa nnyo naddala, ebintu byaffe babikwata babigaana okuyita wansi ku ntambula, olumu okuyita mu nnyonyi, okuyita ku nnyonyi. Sente ziba nnyingi, omusolo bitumenya.
BTM News Today.
That is coming in from the Ugandan business world. Now, a section of students are not contented with the NSSF new policy that is encouraging all employers to register their members, that is employees, with the NSSF, or else risk facing a 10% penalty on their outstanding amount of money. Now, this comes as NSSF on Tuesday this week tasked employers to be whistleblowers if at all there occurs instances where their employers deduct savings and do not remit them to their social security fund saving.
Speaking at the media launch of the Now You Can employer registration campaign on Tuesday, the acting managing director of NSSF, Patrick Ayota, revealed the new development under the NSSF Amendment Act of the year 2022 that states that all employers are required to contribute to their staff social security fund. However, this new policy has not left university students settled since, according to them, saving is supposed to be individual will. While talking to Mawanda Francis, a student of Kampala International University, encouraged the government to consider the different earnings of different individuals and even solve the different scandals before asking for more savings.
I think it's not a must for everyone to save with NSSF. One, some people earn little money. When you compare the percentage NSSF takes from one salary, you get to know that this person remains with nothing. And then still the government or NSSF still has issues within it. Everyone is not sure where this money goes. We've been having scandals with NSSF and still come out and tell people to save with NSSF, yet almost 16 billions is not accounted for and it is missing, and still people have to pay, still people have to save with NSSF, yet the few that have been saving with it don't know where their money is.
Esther Kenyana has also encouraged the government to give chance to different people to account for their money and even use other forms of saving in case it's really important. She therefore discourages this new policy where all workers will be forced to save.
I don't think it's mandatory for them to save. Actually, people know how they do their accountabilities. Some people use their teens to save. So it's not all that a must that everyone has to save because they don't know how people account for their money.
Ogwang Alfred has also disagreed with the new policy and he clearly states that this policy is not necessary and that instead NSSF should work on solving their inbuilt problems and people will come to save independently.
First of all, I must say that it is not necessary. Why do I say it's not necessary? As we all know, there are a lot of scandals in NSSF, and first of all, before you make sure that people are already into what you think, first clear out the scandal, because you can't really expect people to come and start saving without clearing the hair. Now with all this scandal, I'm not sure whether people are going to really accept or are going to willingly start saving at NSSF.
In addition to this, Babiri Rita has also encouraged the government to at least set limitations, more so for those who earn less, if they really want the public to save.
I don't think it is a mandate for everybody to save with NSSF because some people are earning less, and if, for example, if I'm earning 400,000 a month, I'm renting a house of around 200
150. I have to eat, I have to wear. So I don't think it's a mandate for each and everyone to save with NSSF.
However, Dumba Emmanuel has tagged this to poor policing, and he says the government shouldn't go on with the policy because everyone has a right to account and use his or her money the way they think.
Kisookera ddala abantu ab'enjawulo bamanya engeri gye basobola okuba nga baterekamu ssente zaabwe. Kuva eri n'ogamba nti nno ssente zo katuteekewo etteeka nti nno kiri mu tteeka, you have to save with this you have to save with this institution olina osavinga bwoti, kiringa gw'ajja okuba nga ombalirira ssente zange oba zenkozesa. That means olina n'okutegeera ssente ez'ewaka zenkozesa.
Juma Chwanka has also encouraged the people to abide and respect this policy because the funds will be able to help them during times of need and even for future investments.
It's a must. Wensonga nti obanga wetegereza nnyo nti NSSF enezenge yamba abantu bangi nnyo. Naddala katugeze bana bakola mu government, katugeze abasomesa, aba doctors nti obanga okaddiye emyaka zigenze nga obanga osavinga NSF, osavinga nabo akabanga kogenda okuba nti nga owumudde, you are retired from okubeera nti oli teacher, oli doctor. Sente ezo zigenda kuyamba in terms ogenda kufundinga abaana bo ku ssomero, ku campus.
Employers with unregistered employees were given 30 days to do so with NSSF or else face a 10% penalty on the outstanding amount, and in this NSSF is targeting to register 50,000 new employers and 1.2 million new members over the next 5 years. Marvin Mutabazi for BTM News Today.
Well, now we'll be taking a look at tonight's fact file, and of course in BTM's fact file for tonight we do bring to you the most expensive cars, you can call them rides, that happen to be in the world.
The Rolls-Royce Boat Tile is a mid-sized luxury coach-built Grand Tourer, a car made by Rolls-Royce Motor Cars. It is the world's most expensive street legal new car at $28 million. BMW, the parent company of Rolls-Royce, trademark protected the boat tile concept with the European Union Intellectual Property Office on 30th May 2018, as well as in the INPI in Brazil. The car was designed by the company's specialized coach build division at its Goodwood plant, reinterpreting the 1910s Rolls-Royce. It draws a synthetic inspiration from yachts of the 1920s and 1930s. The car shares its chassis and engine with Rolls-Royce Phantom, but has a 1,813 bespoke parts, including 5 electronic control units in the rear deck. The first 3 cars built features as parasol that extends from the rear deck, deployed by a mechanical system in an averted manner like a flower, rotating cocktail tables with a matching stool, a complete set of Christopher tableware, and 2 fridges in a color scheme to match Amand de Brignac champagne bottles. The deck is finished in Caledogno veneer and hinges towards the entire in a butterfly shell at an angle of 67 degrees. The first car features matching pairs of men and women's watches manufactured by Bovet Fleria, which include the tiny sculpture of the car in the dial. The watches can be worn as wristwatch or used as desk clock or pocket watch, as they can also be placed in titanium enclosure on the car's dashboard to be used as its clock. The car has a bespoke Bose Corporation sound system, which uses the car's floor structure as a resonance chamber. The car includes Mont Blanc pen housed in the handcrafted case inside the glove box. The instrument panel dials features Guilloche decorative work. Fact file for BTM News Today.